Hi everyone! So as you can see, Graham wanted to join us today. Actually, he's just chilling next to me. Luna's over here. I can't really turn the camera right now to show you, but she's just chilling too. I just wanted to add in to this other video that I had previously recorded about PetSmart. I felt like I had to share what happened with Luna's toy because I did say good things about it in the last review, and I'm not trying to say it's bad or anything or trash talk the company or anything like that. I just wanted people to know what had happened to our dog. So if you have a dog that is like Luna, she's a Husky, by the way. If you have a dog that loves to rip things up, destroy things, tear things up, I do not recommend anything made of like the rubbery material that they can rip up, because at first we liked it for her because she loves to play with it. It kept her quiet for a while, you know, like she wasn't tearing up things in our house, and it kept her busy. But over Christmas break, what happened was apparently she had broke that little orange ball. I'll show a picture of it again so you can see what I'm talking about. She took that rubber ball, ripped it to pieces, and we threw it all away when we saw that she destroyed it. But apparently we didn't see that she had already swallowed a piece of that rubber ball. And I will enclose a picture of it from when they gave it to us after her surgery. And you can see it was not digested at all, obviously, because it was rubber. We had friends over for an early friends Christmas, as you saw in my previous videos, and Luna was acting fine. Everything was great. Then about 2 days after that, she was starting to act weird, not herself, very lethargic, and just would not eat her food. And normally when she does this, it's because she got into something, like maybe our scraps on the floor or crumbs or something, or like Cheetos food or whatever, and it tastes different than her food and she feels like that's better food than her own. So then that's why she'll boycott or go on strike and not want to eat the food that we give her, because she thinks that she can get the other food if she starves herself and we feel bad or something. And so normally, like, we'll give it a couple days and then she'll start to eat her food again because she'll realize we're not going to give in, right? And basically what happened was she started acting weird after the party. Side note, she had this rubber ball the day before the party. Okay, so then it's technically 3 days post rubber ball, but 2 days post party. So I thought maybe somebody didn't know that we don't feed our dogs human food, and so maybe they dropped some scraps for her or something, because the dogs were roaming around at the party and stuff. Or maybe, you know, people are just messy eaters and the dog still like found some crumbs on the floor or something. So I asked around to make sure that none of our guests had given Luna anything, and nobody did. So then we were like, I don't understand, like, what is it? Like, why is she acting that way? She would eat a little bit, but then she would just like throw it up. She would constantly throw it up, and then she stopped eating altogether. And when she threw up after not eating anything, it was just like spit. I think it was yellow at first. And then eventually, like, we noticed she wasn't really going to the bathroom. Like, she would pee just fine, but like she wouldn't go poop or anything outside. And she was constantly eating grass. And normally, if you look it up, like, dogs eat grass when their stomach hurts, or like they know that like something is wrong, like with their insides and stuff, and they're trying to like eat the grass to help like pass things through, like kind of like how we eat like lettuce or veggies so that we can go to the bathroom. So we were like, okay, something's not right, like let's just see, because by this time it was the weekend, and so it'd been about, I think it had been a full week at this point, and the vet wasn't open. So we were like, okay, well, first thing like Monday, we're gonna take her to the vet, and we're gonna get it checked out and everything, because this just isn't right. Like, she has not gone this long without eating, and she's just been acting like really lethargic and like sleeping all the time. Like, what's wrong with her? And so come Monday, we went into the veterinarian's office, and they did an x-ray, and they said that there was something that was obstructing her small intestine. So there was something that was stuck in her small intestine, and it was causing a buildup, like basically from her stomach to her small intestine, that couldn't, like, things couldn't pass through. We also found out that she had lost like 8 pounds or 10 pounds or something, which is crazy because it's like, well, clearly because she hasn't been eating. They told us like the only way that we can get this out is if we do a surgery where we cut open basically her stomach area, make an incision in her belly, pretty big one. It's like about like this long. They would have to just like get into her gut and cut it open and take it out. And all of this was gonna cost like so many $1,000s. I can't even remember, but it was like $5,000 or something like that. And we were just like, oh my gosh, because we have been trying to save money for emergencies, like emergency fund, like for moving or unforeseen like bills and like things like that. So the vet asked, like, is there anything that she could have destroyed in your house, like that she could have swallowed? Like, what is this? And we were thinking, it's like we could not figure it out because we didn't think it was the ball. Like this whole time, like we never suspected it was the ball because we thought we threw all the pieces away. And so we were like, oh, we don't know. Like, it seemed like she was fine, and then all of a sudden, like, she just started acting not herself. And then when we thought about it, it was like, okay, is it that ball? Because that was like the last thing she destroyed. And so we were like, maybe that's what it was, but we weren't 100% sure. And so then the vet let us go into the room where we could see the x-ray. And after we saw the x-ray, you could kind of tell, like you could see like the little ridges, like the same how the ball is. And so we were like, oh, you know what? That's probably what it was. And so we were like, okay, so what was the next step? And then that's when she told us about all the surgery and how much it was gonna cost. And this is Christmas Eve. So she said that if we were to get the surgery done, she can do the surgery, but we cannot have Luna stay overnight at the veterinarian clinic because no one would be working over Christmas, and so there would be no one to like watch her and monitor her after, like, post-op. So that's why they said that we would have to board her essentially at the emergency clinic, which is 24 hours, and that was closer to our house anyways, but it was just going to be more expensive. So they said that we'll give you time to think about it, and then they left. And we were just like, oh my gosh, like, what are we gonna do? Because it's like, we felt so bad, but like $5,000, that's a lot of money. And it's like money that we technically don't really have. So we were really thinking about it. And, you know, it's really hard because they did say, like, we don't want you to think that putting your dog down is not an option. And hearing that just like put things into reality for me. And that was like when I was like trying so hard like not to cry and like hold my tears back, because for those of you who don't know me, I always joke around and say like Luna's my least favorite and all this stuff, but like technically I don't really have a favorite anymore. But I used to say like Graham was my favorite because he's like my firstborn dog. Like he's the first pet that we've ever had, and he used to be like the perfect dog, but then now he's like developed some characteristics that annoy me. And then I said Cheeto was my favorite because he's the baby and he's the only cat, and he was just like the ideal cat. And so a lot of times I say like Luna gets on my nerves, or like she sheds so much and it's like annoying to clean up after her and like all this stuff. And like when she destroys something in the house, like she doesn't do that so much anymore, but like as a puppy, she did it a lot. But once they said that, it put it into perspective for me. And I was like, no, like my baby. And so I was holding back tears, and I was like, you know, I just don't know what to do, because I don't want to spend this much money on her and she still dies, because they did say that that was a possibility, that she, you know, we spend all this money, have this surgery on her, and then she could still not make it. So my husband like thankfully made the decision that we would pay it and have the surgery. So we did the surgery and everything went okay. She woke up from anesthesia. We came to pick her up. We brought her to the emergency clinic, and once we got there, we checked her in, and then she had to stay overnight. So we picked her up Christmas Day, like kind of towards the afternoon, I think. And then she's just been resting at home. We've been sleeping out here on the couch so that we can sleep with her, because after the surgery, like, you know, after her intestines were cleared, her butt basically exploded, and like, you know, all the poop that was built up went everywhere. And so like, and we couldn't take a bath for her because they said that we can't get her wet because of her incisions, her stitches. So thankfully they had wiped her down, so there was like no more poop on her, but she still kind of had this smell, and I call it like an expo marker. Like, it kind of smells like that. It doesn't quite smell like poop, but it doesn't smell good either, you know. So we've been sleeping out here on the couch because she can't fit into her cage with the cone on, and we didn't want her on our bed smelling like that. But we had blankets like over the couch, like covering it wherever she was gonna lay, so that way we could kind of keep her comfortable but still not like have that smell like all over the place. And so that's what we've been doing since then. She gets her staples out tomorrow. It's been 2 weeks since the surgery, but her incisions have closed and healed up. She's fine. She's acting normal again. We threw away all of her rubber toys that she could like bite like into little pieces and just like swallow, because we do not want this problem again. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, that the rubber ball is a good toy if you don't think that your dog is a destructive dog where they could break it up. Because, like, for example, Graham used to play with a rubber toy, and he would never, like, chew it up enough where it would be, like, little pieces and swallow it and stuff. So, a dog like Graham, that would be great for. A dog like Luna, no, I would find something else. Like, here's an example of a toy that we just got her. It has this like material, I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of looks like have you ever bought like a rice bag? Like, you know what that material looks like? It kind of looks like that, except it's kind of thicker, and she's not able to tear through this at all. And there's no stuffing, because like I said, like, she can't have toys with stuffing because she will rip into that and pull all that stuffing out. But basically anything with this, like, I don't know what this material is. It's just calling it plastic film. But she loves this kind of toy. It will keep her busy, and it doesn't break. It doesn't rip apart. She can't swallow anything from it. These are the more ideal toys for a dog like Luna that's really destructive. Huskies, if you have a Husky or any breed, like mixed with a Husky, they will be that type of dog. And so I would highly recommend not getting rubber balls toys or toys with stuffing or little squeaky things with the, like, if you have this material with the squeaky thing, that's fine, because they can't penetrate this. But like a stuffing, like furry feeling toy with the squeaky thing, they will get into that and they will swallow that little squeaker thing too. So I would be careful with that as well. In hindsight, you know, hindsight is 2020. We should not have waited a whole week to take her to the vet. But thankfully, like, we got there in time, because the vet said if we had waited even just a few more hours, her gut could have exploded and she would have died anyways. So thankfully, everything is okay with Luna. She's good. There's Luna. She's perfectly fine now. She's just tired from playing earlier. Please be conscious of like how your pet is acting. Take them to the vet if anything is wrong with them. I hope that you guys enjoyed your holidays. We were kind of busy with that. After Luna, we also had a problem with Cheeto, but we'll save that for another video. This was before the vet. Luna, are you still drugged up? She's like not laying her head down. Yeah. But her tongue is still sticking out. Are you fighting going back to sleep? Huh? After this, we dropped her off for a day at the emergency clinic.
Whoa. She's strong, yeah.
Christmas Day, and we finally get to pick Luna up and take her back home with us. The one that missed Luna the most was Cheeto. This is us sleeping on the couch together for 2 weeks. And she likes to watch YouTube videos with me. She really likes Jeffree Star. And here she is, back to normal.